you're so comfortable.
Welcome to the second ever episode
of the Onion Patch Kids.
Today, our guests are two new guests than last time. Our previous guests, Ethan and Mitch, are asleep surrounding us. And today, with me, first of all, I'd like to introduce Jaden Parker. So, Jaden, you're going to be a major character in this production, so why don't you give a little background?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate the opportunity I have to be on this podcast. My name is Jaden Parker. A lot of people call me J-Dop, but actually we can talk about that, right?
Yeah, just save it. Save it.
Save it?
Yeah, we'll go real deep into it.
Like right now?
Well, no, because I'm going to have Dalen go too.
Fuck you,
Anything else you want to say?
I want to say, I'm a senior in high school, and
As am I.
my life's pretty good. I enjoy my life a lot. And that's about it.
Jaden Parker, everyone. And another one of my great longtime friends, Dalen Brewer. Dalen, welcome. Good to have you.
Thanks, homie. I'm glad to be here.
A little louder, please.
Thanks, homie. I'm glad to be here.
Do you want me to move my stuff?
I'm over your shit.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dalen, what do the people need to know about you?
I'm a senior in high school as well.
Very unoriginal, I have to say.
My brain droops slower than the normal average human.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sounds like we're eager
Yeah.
to
Right,
get.
Dylan, explain your brain.
Now explain your situation.
Okay, so, alright. When I was younger, the nickname in my family was Jado. People would always call me Jado. My name is spelled Jadon. It's kind of whack. My parents named me after some guy that they were friends with. And, so, seeing as it's spelled with an O, people always say like Jado and ha. I would get freaking harassed in school. It didn't bother me much. Anyway, when I was creating my first Xbox 360 gamer tag, I liked the nickname Jado, and so I said, my last name is Parker, so I said Jado P. And then I put 1200 at the end because
Jado P.
Jado P, right. And then,
Sound it out, ladies and gentlemen.
listen. I'm getting there. So, played Xbox 360. I didn't play online much because, I was like a little kid and my parents were super overprotective and they didn't really like that stuff. So I got an Xbox One in high school and the gamer tag transferred and people would read it and be like, J-Dop, what is J-Dop? And at first it was like, no, it's J-Dop, that was my gamer tag. After a while, people just started calling me J-Dop. And I really embrace it, you know, it's cool to have a nickname, I guess. I like it.
Isn't it crazy how that came about?
Yeah. I mean, not really, but to me it is.
I really... Something that gets me going about that is the letter Y. Because in a typical Jaden, you'd have a Jayden.
Or just
Jaden.
Yeah, like that. But those are the two most common spellings, yeah.
And so this is something I've always heard as the rule, is if there's only one letter in between two vowels, then they say their name.
Say that again.
Yeah. What?
So, like, if Jaden's name had two D's, it would be Jaden.
That's true.
Okay, yeah.
So why isn't it not Jadon?
Because, like, I don't know, I guess it just doesn't really follow real English rules. Damn, bro, you're making me self-conscious about my name.
No, dude, it's just so... The other thing about why
I don't know,
is
Derek.
when we...
Oh my gosh, Jarek, are you good? Dude, I told you this can happen.
Jarek, do you want to,
We're recording a podcast.
Yeah, do you want to be on the podcast?
Come here.
Come on.
Get over here, buddy.
Well,
I don't.
a little bit unexpectedly, this is one of my good friends. Never mind. Go ahead and lay down. You can listen to us if you want, but you're...
There's not much room.
Here, I can sit. Here, one sec. And a little bit unexpected, Jarek UT.
Yes, please.
Welcome.
You need to talk louder.
He just woke up from a nap, so he might be talking a little quietly. Jarek, what do the people need to know about Jarek UT?
Well, first off, Jerky, name is Jesus.
That's awesome. Anything else?
Not really.
Jarek UT, everyone.
Silent applause.
Anyways, what I was saying is, so when we say Y, we start it with a W, like WHY, how we would say that.
Right, yeah.
But when we say this, the Y sound, yeah, how are we making that sound? Because like S makes sense. We're sizzling.
Yeah.
T, we're basically building up pressure behind our tongue to say ta.
Why?
How do you say yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
It's a
can't.
vibration of the vocal cords, is all. Yeah.
But you can't keep saying it's the same as P. You can't keep saying Y, even though it's a vowel.
Yeah.
You should be able to go like ah,
Oh my gosh.
but you can't do it with Y.
Unless you.
But-
It's a singular instant.
But why?
It's a
Why
of what you're saying.
Why isn't like really a vowel? It's like
sometimes.
when they say A-E-I-O-U, sometimes
Okay, that's really
you have to
intelligent.
close
Yeah. That's really intelligent.
But
that's why they put it
it
into
seems to me
the
never
education
Y.
system.
I think Y ruins a ton of stuff, except yo-yo, the only thing. I can't think of another Y word that I need.
Young? Well, that comes from the OU.
every version of
Yeah.
your really is needed.
Yeah, but
Your
okay, I guess.
try it.
It's just the beginning though. You know, that's why it was incorporated into language as something that you wouldn't hold out. Like when Y is at the end of the sentence, it's different from the beginning, right? Your and quickly, Y changes.
And also, like, if you send a hey with a lot of Y's, you're like, hey.
Yeah,
That's an A. That's an A.
Stop it.
Anyways, that's awesome. I think nicknames are cool. Mine used to be KK.
I call you KK sometimes.
It's a little close to one of our groups that we got to put a frowny face on.
Oh.
The third K. If my last name started with a K, I just would not get a job anywhere.
Does your middle name start with a K?
It's Keith.
Keith.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Shout out my dad.
Can you think of any other K names that aren't like modern, like Kaiden?
Carson.
That bullshit. Okay, but yeah, that's not how you.
Caleb.
That's not how you would.
Those are like
originally
normally
spell
C
it.
names.
See, yeah, like that's modernized.
Kason is maybe
That's a modern name.
Caden's really weird.
Kaiden's a
Like,
your name is spelled.
I don't know
modern,
about you
I think.
guys, but when I think about my name, it's just like it definitely feels young.
Yeah.
Like Kayden.
Mine is like
you're not gonna find any grandfather in Caden.
mine is like early 90s probably. Is where my name was birthed.
You were probably like the first version of Jaden. Like with the O-N. And then they added the E's later. Jaden versus Jaden.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah. Which I like saying Jaden.
Yeah.
Jaden.
People, when I was like in elementary and junior high, and people would see my name, they'd be like, why is it spelled like that? Jaden.
Because it's a normal way of spelling it.
Yeah.
There was a kid in my elementary named Jaden who always wore orange every day. So if you're listening to this, please respond to my emails. Dylan, do you want to tell him
something crazy?
Something crazy. You can do your head injury.
I'm gonna elaborate on my name, maybe.
Yeah, we'll follow.
So now we have
Dalen. What a fucked up name.
Another possibly should be a Y there.
It really needs to be, because every role of every teacher ever has called me Dalen.
Yeah, which doesn't make sense because you're a teacher.
It would actually be Dalen, you know?
Or
Yeah.
Daleen.
What? No, because there's not.
Because the E is only one letter away from the A.
birthday.
What?
Maybe they're celebrating Ethan's birthday.
Jarek says maybe they're celebrating Ethan's birthday.
Ethan's birthday.
I just want to say that not Ethan's birthday.
Yeah, it's
Not quite.
That is totally
Jarek,
irrelevant
Ethan's
information.
birthday is actually
Jarek is
February 23rd.
very sleepy.
Is there a pig
There's not a pig. You freaking weirdo. What is wrong with you?
in the movie?
In what movie?
What movie?
Are you dreaming or are you awake?
Spider.
Spider?
Spider-Man. Spider-Verse.
Is there
Is there a pig? Yeah, Spider
The
Pig.
anime
Are
pig.
you freaking dreaming? Jarek, wake up.
No, wait, let him vibe.
Repeat back to
No,
me
I'm
what I'm
just trying
saying.
to remember.
Ethan just woke
Remember
up.
what?
Ethan, you want to be on the podcast?
Who was Dr. Eggman? Oh, yeah.
Good night.
Dr. Eggman.
Dr. Eggman?
Yeah.
What the hell, bro?
Are you awake?
Jerry
You
is
know
a
Dr.
dream
Eggman?
state.
Dude, I know exactly how he's feeling.
Wow. Good friend.
Yeah, it's okay.
Let's see.
Alright, do you want to elaborate on your brain?
Brain?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is Chiari?
My skull.
What did you just say?
It's Chiari syndrome,
Chiari malformation. It's
which means bad formation in Spanish.
Can you pass me that?
Yeah, I really used to like
and shut the fuck up, Jerry.
Jared, no, I love putting the pieces together of what Jared's saying.
The thing is, it's not a puzzle. It's just random information that he spouted.
Well, he said, "Is there a
I have a
pig?"
question.
And then he said,
What's your
"Spider."
question?
He has a question.
What's your question?
Is a crosswalk on my sweatshirt decaying?
Okay. No,
There's a crosswalk on it. He's wearing an Abbey Road sweatshirt. It's not decaying.
it's not decaying.
Okay, thank goodness.
Hopefully, everyone knows what Abbey Road is.
If you don't listen to the podcast if you don't know what Abbey Road is.
All right. Yes. Wait. Finish
I
Chiari.
forget what we're talking about.
Malformation.
Yeah, it's called Chiari malformation. My skull is actually too small to contain my brain, so the brain is slooping down
Like down the brainstem.
down the
area.
brain stem spine area. So
It's crazy.
they had to stuff that shit back up in there.
How did they get it to stay?
They put a mesh pad up in there to drilled it in.
That's so sick.
Why don't they
actually.
just enlarge your skull?
Why they would have to reconstruct his whole head?
They would have to saw my skull in half, and that would.
Just, like rebuild it.
My surgery was like 3 hours. That would take eons.
Dude, surgeries that take a long time.
I'm so glad you're alive, Dylan. I love you.
Yeah, I love you, Dylan. Like,
That's scary as hell.
It
It's
is.
really
It's
scary.
crazy.
I've thought about being a doctor because I have the smarts to do it. But if I had to work on someone's skull for 20 plus hours,
I could never.
I could never.
Spent so much of my mom and dad's money.
What happened,
No, dude.
Jarek?
He said he spent so much of his mom and dad's
Okay,
money.
this is a perfect time to explain where we are right now.
Well, we're on a little vacation for our cross country team. We do cross country and now it's over. We just ran our last race ever. We should talk about that.
Yeah,
So Jaden's been doing it for 3 years.
3 years.
I've been doing it for 4. Wow. High school's coming to a close.
Are you 2 years?
Yeah, this was just my second year.
How did crossing the last finish line feel?
It honestly. Go ahead, Dylan. Sorry, I
No,
can't.
you're good. You're good.
It just felt. It felt almost like normal in the moment, but in hindsight, it's pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just wait another 15 minutes, I think.
For you.
For what?
Yeah, wait 15 minutes for what, Jarek?
You can do it on YouTube.
Do what on YouTube?
Django Unchained by Quentin Tarantino.
Django Unchained by Quentin Tarantino.
Quentin Tarantino made this show.
Quentin Tarantino made this show.
What show?
The show we're watching.
We're not watching the show. Jarek, do you want
He's
to
dreaming.
sit up?
He's dreaming of a show.
I feel good now.
Dude, holy shit.
That's how I was a stripper.
Do you think his audio's like being caught?
We can put subtitles on it if not.
Please, please. I fell in love with a stripper.
Derek, what show is playing in your head?
Planet Sheen.
By Quentin Tarantino.
No. Quentin Tarantino didn't make that one.
Quentin Tarantino made Derek, besides Django Unchained.
He made Reservoir Dogs, Watch Dogs, Watchmen.
Dogmen and Dog Watch.
I want to have a movie night at my house with all the. And we're gonna watch.
I'm gonna have to
Quentin
bleep
Tarantino
that,
films.
Jared.
Yeah, don't say the N word.
Just for the sake of you getting a job when you're older.
Let's watch Quentin Tarantino.
Here, I'll add a flag to that part. Easy. This app is so good.
It sounds sick.
Speaking of that, let 1 sec. And on that note, I crossed the finish line and I just felt like that was another race.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. It is pretty big.
Cross country race.
Our last cross country race.
Yep.
A lot of stuff just hasn't hit me. And I know it's snowballing. Like cross country ending, senior year happening, like my last homecoming, my last Sadie's.
Yeah, dude. Did you get asked to win a ball?
Yeah,
By
Danny.
Oh shit, is that gonna be awkward?
I don't think so. We're still vibing.
Jarek and I didn't get asked.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going with Andy? Why not?
She didn't ask her.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you gonna ask her to prom?
Yeah. The only thing that hit me was when marching band ended. Because I love marching band. I cried really hard.
Really?
Me and Mitch stayed on the football field when it was our last time marching on it for a long time.
Dude, it's so
That's sad.
crazy being seniors. Coulter Hansen, shout out Coulter if you're listening to this, bro, I love you. But he always posts these TikToks on his story, and I kind of hate it because he's trying to make me feel sad. But it's like those dumb ones that are like, this is your last football game, your last one day it's gonna be the last time you ever hang out with your homies. All of them.
When they die.
Well, like, think about it, man. One of us could move to, like, fucking
Saskatoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can never all hang out again.
Well, there'd be days.
Dude,
But yeah, I get what you're saying.
do your parents hang out with every single one of their best high school friends?
No one. No.
Yeah.
I
My
just
dad,
don't.
half of his friends are freaking dead.
Yeah. I mean, all of our parents have been through a lot. But I don't see it stopping. I don't see me not getting with the boys for Thanksgiving.
But it's gonna happen.
It's crazy.
Absolutely bonkers. It's too much. Like, is it gonna smell?
No, we're fine.
Okay. Just gotta make sure. Because I'm fucking vibing right now. This is hilarious. Jarek, what's on your mind right now?
I need your love.
Dude,
Jarek
I
is
was
singing.
just thinking about that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so
Telepathy through Gone Girl by Ian Dior and Trippie Redd.
I really want to go to Trippie Redd, but I don't know if my parents will let me.
Dude, I needed another job. I work at this place called the BDO, the Business Depot Ogden. And Ogden is a city, for those of you who do not know, in northern Utah. And it's this giant plot of land with a ton of warehouses on it. And I did like landscaping and maintenance work, that type of stuff. Go around and hedge buildings and pick weeds all the time. And it was a great summer job. We got paid $10 an hour. And all my homies worked there. Jarek worked there, and a bunch of kids from Weber High and Fremont.
I work there.
Yeah, you worked there, Jarek. But we got laid off for the winter. And it's so sad because now we all have to find different jobs. And there's a good possibility that not all of the homies that worked at the BDO are going to return into the spring. Because they can't keep us on for winter because they're not making enough money to pay 30 high schoolers to plow roads.
It's a pretty shabby place.
My place?
Yeah, like they have really cheap stuff.
I guess I never noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Sorry, my
BDO
can.
has like cans of Pepsi that say like
Oh no.
classic
No,
1980 on them.
No, so that's the outlet. The BDO outlet is in the BDO. The BDO is the whole thing. All the warehouses.
Yeah, I know, but a lot of the warehouses,
But there.
like there's an exercise warehouse.
Okay, yeah.
And it's cheaper exercise equipment.
The BDO gym.
Yeah, the BDO
The
gym.
BDO gym is tight. It's like average Joe's gym on dodgeball.
Dodgeball. Yeah. There's something aesthetic about it that I enjoy.
There's a Adam Sandler aesthetic. It's
Oh,
like,
Lord.
and it's like movies that I watched that I just couldn't comprehend as a kid, but I kept watching them.
Yeah. Like Dodgeball.
Like Dodgeball, that's like the number one. There's this one, what's it called? Semi-Pro with Will Ferrell?
I've heard of it. What's it about?
That's one that I watched. And like,
Sorry.
basically, the only thing I remember is like Will Ferrell is playing basketball, and at the end they're losing, and he goes up to heaven, and God is like, "You need to do the alley oop," and they just alley oop it like 60 times, and they win.
That sounds fire. Yeah, that's the Flint Tropics, right?
What?
Flint Tropics. That's the team he plays for.
I don't remember.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
Same thing with Talladega Nights. I watched that when I was super little.
Yeah.
Did not get it.
I love Talladega Nights.
It's a good show, yeah. Hey, if you want your voice to be heard, you gotta speak up.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna fall asleep now. Hey, there's no way.
Yeah.
Good job.
It's pretty tight.
I'm pretty tight, bro. I love you, bro.
Dude, I love you too. Don't make me cry again.
Yeah, so Jarek and I stayed up till we slept for 15 minutes last night before running a 5K. We talked for hours upon hours about like the most personal stuff we could
That was
even
fun.
fathom.
I
And-
like doing that.
Yeah, our friendship really grew.
Good, man. You really gotta do. Yeah, I'm clocking. You really gotta do stuff when you're young. Because, like, when you're old, you complain about how much sugar is in certain kinds of Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
I saw this Mountain Dew review,
I don't even.
and it's like,
Eat
I
sugar.
really like Voltage, but the sugar amount in
What?
Voltage is so much higher than the
I'm
other
like-
Mountain Dews.
I said, wait.
How? Isn't it just a lot of sugar in all of them?
Yeah. Like Diet Mountain Dew.
I don't notice.
Diet Mountain Dew is not any healthier. I'm sure I could freaking look up some statistics on this.
I never.
It's not any healthier than regular Mountain Dew.
It's because aspartame and stuff. Diet sodas are. The stigma is they cause cancer, but I don't think that's really true.
Fucking dude. I was watching this YouTube video. I'd love to.
Junior, you coming?
What, bro?
Junior, you coming?
Am I coming
where?
where?
I said, Jaden,
Yeah, am I coming where?
sitting on the bed.
Dude, I'm on the bed with you, Kyle.
You sounded far away.
Dalen got up to leave, and that's what you heard. You feeling
Wait,
good?
what were we talking?
Oh, yeah.
Shit, dude. I don't know.
Oh, I was just gonna say I've never felt bad after drinking a soda, and I'm not ready for when my life is gonna do that.
Yeah, I guess. It's like our weightlifting teacher will always tell us you can eat 3 Big Macs and lose 2 pounds. And I can't think of that ending. I can't think of not having a teenage metabolism.
It's 2 minus 3.
3 years?
Talking about Big Mac.
He's
math.
gone.
Oh, are Big Macs a pound?
You need to watch
That is
the
not-
video.
They could be.
Jerry, there's nothing on the TV.
No, the video that we just watched
What video did we just watch?
Talladega Nights.
on our phone.
On the phone?
You didn't watch a video?
I don't remember what it was.
Have you seen the Bean movie on YouTube?
Dude, like Mr. Bean?
No, like the one, like Killer Bean.
Like Beanos?
Mr. Bean.
Remember the memes where it's like brown little beans and they're dancing or
What?
shooting each other?
No,
Willy Wonka.
not Willy Wonka.
I promise if I turned it on, you'd recognize it, but we'll get to that after.
Okay.
Willy Wonka.
What?
He said Willy Wonka.
Do you
Willy
like Johnny Depp, Willy Wonka, or the other?
But
I
it's
feel
just-
so bad for not knowing that guy's name. but-
Gene something.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
we were just.
Don't
You look
apologize.
the same,
Who looks the same?
Mitch.
Mitch?
Mitch is
Mitch
above
is
you.
asleep,
Come
bro.
with me.
Oh, good for him.
Gene Wilder.
See, okay, yeah.
So-
That's good. It's tough to compare them because that's a. What year was that made?
There's got to be 90s.
60s.
I would estimate 60s.
Yeah, I guess.
90s? Bro, you ever seen
It's
that
really
shit?
old.
Yeah.
I just am thinking.
Jonah Hill corrected it, and it's amazing.
Jonah Hill directed it?
Yeah.
Willy
he
Wonka?
No, he didn't.
Mid 90s.
Mid 90s? Is that a show?
I'm pretty sure he was born in the mid 90s.
He created mid 90s, like the movie.
You know that one series? It's on Netflix. I don't know if it is anymore or if it's on anything else, but it's like the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s.
Oh, yeah.
The documentary.
Yeah.
The music stuff.
Not music stuff.
Well, I saw music stuff.
There's actually, okay, yeah, I guess it talks about music.
What
for instance.
happens at the end of Willy Wonka with Gene? Because, like, he gets really pissed.
He gives it to Charlie in the factory.
Does that happen?
But
I
I
haven't
thought
seen it in a long
He was
time.
like, "You broke the rules. The rules are broken." He
Well-
was screaming at Charlie.
Gene Wilder.
Does anybody remember what happens? at the end?
G-Wagon, G-Wagon.
G-Wagon, G-Wagon, says
Oh, the
Sharon.
housewives pulling up.
Because at the end of the Johnny Depp one, it's like, I don't want a factory. but then they bring the house to the
Factory.
factory, and it's like such an easy ending. And I like the ending of the first one better, but I don't even remember what it is.
Is it Tim Burton on the new
The
one?
Charlie
She
and the
directed
Chocolate
it?
Factory is Tim Burton.
Okay, yeah. It's just
that makes sense.
Because it's creepy.
yeah, it's so odd.
What an odd mind that guy has.
He's a genius.
Did you ever watch Frankenweenie?
Yeah,
What a
that
fun
was
show.
insane.
I watched it on my mom's Kindle. Imagine that.
Dude, that sounds like a freaking drug.
Drogas.
I watched Avatar: The Last Airbender 3 times on my mom's computer. I'm a badass.
Like you watched Avatar: The Last Bender all the way through, or 3 episodes?
All the way through.
You
He
you watched
"I'm a
it.
badass."
You watched Avatar: The Last Airbender all the seasons 3 times on your mom's computer.
Yes.
Dude, isn't that
This
stuff
is my mom's
still
iPad,
going?
actually.
Your mom's what?
iPad, actually.
Because that's been going on forever.
You're a psycho. What's been going on forever?
Last Airbender? Because they did it,
And
and then
you
they
know
did
what?
Legend of whatever,
Korra.
and Aang wasn't in it, except old, I think. And now it's like coming back into the culture, and I don't know how. I don't know if it's just resurfacing or if there's some sort of spin-off.
Full finger ring on my hand.
I don't have a lot of memories of that. I just remember the big flying guy in Aang.
Tafa.
Tafa.
No, not Tafa.
Something like that.
Keep talking, man.
Sorry, we suddenly got cut off there. I don't know what happened.
We're rolling again. Talking about Avatar, now we're talking about like
Manga.
marimbas.
He said manga.
Sharingan.
Yeah, so, okay, wait. I want to talk about, I don't think his name was Tafa. Tafa was a guy that went to school with us. He went on, actually, I don't want to talk
You
about
went to
No,
school
me and
with a
Cole
giant
saw Ta-
floating mammoth.
He saw Tafa and I talked to him for a little bit.
When did you see Tafa?
Giant floating man.
Jared can confirm Tafa is a real man. Appa. His name was Appa.
It was fight
No
night
one's
when
gonna
you were
believe
hanging
the
out with
shit
Taryn.
Jarek says.
Remember when you were hanging out with Taryn?
He's so
Yeah,
tired.
you saw it.
And we went to fight night and
Oh, Tafa was at Fight Night?
no, he was at the church that we went to after.
The fool.
And he was walking in and I yelled his name and we started talking.
Why was he walking in church? That man is a
He
awful
he
person.
was going to play basketball.
Oh, okay. So, maybe, I don't know. I hope Tafa doesn't hear this. I didn't mean to say he was an awful
I
person.
seriously don't.
I just know that he doesn't. Like, he wouldn't be going to a church. You know what I mean? Maybe cut out what I said about Tafa. But yeah,
They look like
Ad
dogs.
flag.
so the bison's name, the one that flies, I'm pretty sure his name's Appa. I could look it up right now, but
I'll
I do
look
not
it
want to.
Something.
Because he says like Appa, yip yip. And he goes,
Yep, yep.
woof, flies away.
Whoosh.
I'll never to be seen again.
I'm dripping sauce.
X's new album.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to like it more than I do. I really enjoy it. It's really hard to produce a quality album with snippets that
Yeah.
he never finished.
Caden.
I think most of them
Caden.
are finished. What's up, Jay?
I'm sorry, but here, I'll think of it.
Yeah, you gotta wait your turn, bro. Keep on
It's
kidding.
alright. But like, there are some songs where it's like, yeah, like I don't know, interlude that never ends. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes long. I don't know. I can look right now.
You said you were gonna try to get an internship for a business company.
Who said they were gonna get an internship for a business company?
Walter White, right here.
Walter White, Caden himself.
Yes.
Were you gonna get an internship for a business company?
I'm gonna be real. I have no idea what Jarek's talking about.
All right, I just didn't know because I didn't know if that was something you were actually pursuing.
I need if I'm gonna drive a motorcycle, I gotta go to safety wheel.
If he's gonna drive a motorcycle, he has to go to safety wheel.
Well, doesn't we all?
That's so deep. What was I gonna freaking...
Basically, I feel that I want to
Dude.
get more too.
I literally opened my music app and it was on the interlude that never ends. Literally on it. It's 2.5 minutes long, and it's just like it really shouldn't be
Seems
like that.
Triumph. I was like, this is kind of weird.
It's more like a look into... Stop referencing Trippie Redd. It's like a look into his mind and his creativity more than what he wants to produce with that creativity.
I really think that album was going to be bigger because
19th really surprised me.
in the intro,
What you're doing?
in the intro, he's like talking about being a prince and being a king. And some of the songs, if you keep all of the things he says in mind, are insane. Like Attention, it just stays stuck in my head because of how powerful that feels.
I haven't really went deep into the lyrics yet. I haven't finished the last 3 songs on the album. I feel
He simply says, "Attention, attention. When you see me, please stand at attention."
1 minute.
That's so crazy. The first question I'm going to ask.
Dylan, are you going to sleep?
No, I'm just chilling.
Okay.
First question I'm going to ask
Dude,
God is Jaw in heaven or hell?
Dude,
Which one did he get to?
Jarek's now singing 1 minute from the Skins album. The Skins is kind of the same thing.
Skins might be his worst one.
Really?
Because it was like Bad Vibes Forever, but not as good.
Yeah.
1 minute, name songs off of it. Go.
Train Food.
Train Food Super.
I don't remember.
Isn't
I can't
Train
even
Food a
remember how Train Food...
continuation of
Devil's,
in Miami?
yeah. But I don't understand how.
Well, because he's leaving Miami or something, and then he dies.
Oh. The Devil...
Because it says pitchforks and stuff. That's in Staring at the Sky. It says it kind of ties in with
Oh yeah, the
that
pitchfork.
too. Pitchfork pointed at my heart.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah,
But that Guardian Angel was cool. I listen to Guardian Angel a lot.
I can't even remember how it goes. I feel so... Caden, you probably share, if not more, a love for X with me. I've loved him since 17. I wasn't big enough into underground to know him before then, but I came to know and appreciate him. And then from there on out, I feel like I've been a huge fan. Caden's been the same way with freaking Peep. And then they die and they blow up, and it feels... How would you describe the feeling of being an original fan, and now there's all the fakes in the world that appreciate things that shouldn't be appreciated and try and develop ideas from artists that don't exist?
If I was afraid like that, I would just do it on my SIM card instead of getting it.
If Jarek was afraid like that, he would just do it on his SIM card instead of getting it.
So basically, I think about that a lot. But you want to know how I listened to 17 for the first time?
You boys are really passionate about X.
It was on every white girl's story.
Yeah.
I said, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
Let me listen to 17. And you can ask Brandon. I was like, dude, this is XXX Temptation. It's Flame. That was me. I said Temptation.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. Shit, I guess, yeah. I guess
really
I'm not a real fan, but...
And we really became fans right in the middle of Accusations.
Yeah, because I remember that was we were super edgy back then.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, no, I disrespect women. I don't care about rape.
Yeah.
I mean, just move on
It's
from that.
such an interesting development that she was in the Heart Eater music video.
And did you see that,
If
he wanted it that way?
If you got raped by this man with, weapons, why would you want to be in his music video?
Money. Simply.
Yeah, but it just makes me feel like, I don't know. I don't want to say I doubt the accusations, but I hate that being the excuse
Okay.
to not give him a chance. And I think that her being in the music video kind of shows that, you know, maybe it's not as serious as she was saying.
Yeah.
But I hope that she's okay in the end.
The media blows things out of proportion, and you never truly know. Like, it's hard because people can't get past the fact that
There's a
he
big
raped
ass
someone.
patty.
That he's a great man.
Mhm.
He was a great man, and he did a lot of great shit.
When I was a Nets fan, it was like, I think I was super into him when question mark dropped when he had blue hair.
Yeah.
And he was like going to Florida schools and talking to kids and giving them PlayStations. And I was like, this guy is so, like, he was really helping his community. He was doing so much stuff like that. He was rebuilding his friendships with Ski Mask.
Yeah.
He was like anti-beef.
Yeah.
The way he speaks was so cool. He, even if it wasn't all, it's not super sophisticated, the messages that he said, everyone could get that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wow, maybe I needed that today.
And that's something I struggle with.
Oh, my phone's in my hand.
Yeah, your phone's in your hand.
Oh,
bro.
what's my
I didn't
battery?
know that.
Chilling?
I was
Oh, yeah,
looking
you're at
for it.
like 3/4.
I was looking for my phone and I grabbed my phone and used a flashlight and started looking.
What were we talking about?
X.
Yeah, I had something I was going to say. I totally forgot.
Keep thinking. But it sucks because I was on Spotify and I played the Teardrop playlist
Mm-hmm.
right after Peep died. So it was filled with Peep songs.
Shit.
And I was like, wow, I'm so sad I missed out on this guy.
You want to paint your nails?
I think,
Hey, yeah, we should talk about nail painting afterward. Go ahead.
okay. I think Lil Peep had a lot though, because like he said crazy stuff sometimes about how like we have no idea what he's planning. And he's like, people just won't get it. And a lot of his friends said that like Gus and Lil Peep were different people.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Like it was an alter ego almost.
You see, like, that's crazy to think about. Like my mind goes to the Montreality interview and seeing Peep talk about his life and experiences, and that's just like a different personality.
Mm-hmm.
Is so crazy, and it makes sense because you can't have that personality all the time and be like mentally stable. I think that's part of the reason why Mac Miller overdosed.
Mm-hmm. It happens, like, you have to work so hard to become a musician. And the way that people do that is via substances, and so many artists do that.
Yeah, that's hella tough.
A lot of people just speculate about who killed Peep. If it was a fan or if it was set up by Mackinnon or whatever. Maybe
I think he just killed himself.
I don't
it
think Peep
wasn't
would
a
have killed himself.
suicide.
Yeah,
It was not a suicide. Because he didn't know it was fentanyl. Or else he wouldn't have taken $1 million.
And those little
how many
fuzzies
did
would
he
come out.
take? Do you know the story, like the details behind it?
I don't remember. I just know a female fan came up to him and said that here's this Zans, and he took it and they were pressed fentanyl.
That I can't understand the logistics behind that, bro. How is fentanyl like a cutting agent? It's expensive, is it not? Is it cheap and easy to use?
It's
I guess
super
it must
strong.
be. but-
It's super strong.
Like, what else are they putting in there? If they're taking out Xanax and putting in fentanyl, they can't put in enough fentanyl to cut it with to not make it, lethal off one pill. So for them to save money cutting on Xanax and to put fentanyl in, you gotta put shit other than fentanyl in. What is that?
I'm not a NASA.
Did that make sense, what I was saying?
Not too much to me, but maybe to someone who knows that.
Yeah, that one's tough for me to think about.
I think
I'd have to draw you a diagram.
he's a big conspiracy.
What did Mac Miller overdose on?
Cocaine laced with fentanyl.
Oh, jeez.
I think his was kind of, he didn't really care.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah, his whole persona was, all I do is smoke cigarettes and make sad music and do drugs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's we haven't lived long enough to see how that's going to affect people when they're older. Like, the old big music people right now, like Run DMC, they didn't do freaking Xans.
No.
Popping bars make me go
Just
off from
Weed. Everyone did weed.
Yeah, like the Suicide Boys. How long are the Suicide Boys going to live?
It's really crazy. It's a big industry thing, and that industry sucks.
I think Scrim is actually really into fitness now
Really?
and eating like healthy.
I guess you have to be, or else you're going to die. The
Or
Suicide
else
Boys are,
you're about to die.
you could watch videos on this, and I'm not 100% sure if my information is correct, but it's like, you and I were talking about this, Jared. They made, like, I'm pretty sure this is correct information. They made a pact that if they didn't get big in music, they would kill themselves. That's why they call themselves the Suicide Boys. They had nothing left for them. All they had was drugs in the dirty streets of New Orleans.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And that's why it's such an attractive music taste. All they know is rage and drugs. And for a white guy like me from northern Utah that wants to feel, something similar to that, Suicide Boys are enticing.
It's really like everything going on is maximized. Like Suicide Boys and Ghostman, we're starting to get to as hard as you can go.
Yeah.
What can you do after talking about the worst stuff ever?
Fuck, dude, let me read the lyrics from Nothing Left by Suicide Boys.
Can we listen to Trash Talk?
Maybe after.
So, they dropped this, if you know anything about Suicide Boys, you'll know the Travis Barker collab that they did on one of their most recent projects. Suicide, let's all commit suicide, and the human race. I'm just reading highlights. Stab me in the skull, put my body in a ditch, let the larva eat my heart, infest my dead body, let it rip my flesh apart. War, power, sickness, death, famine, terror, toxic sex, hate, fear, greed, stress, fire, ashes, nothing left. When you talk about pure negative emotion and the end of that in the most aggressive music form, how can you go upward?
I know.
With your voice? Oh.
Yeah, you could sing it higher, Jared.
Is the sync on?
No, that's a...
Like, turn it on.
Oh, it's just air.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're peaking and the world is gonna end. But I just think that's crazy that it's that intense. Like, people used to hate AC/DC.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? That Highway to Hell was like, wow, this is bad.
Dude, the Beatles. In America, if you were over the age of 40 when the Beatles were popular, you hated them. That's just how it was.
Mm-hmm.
I really like them.
Dude, yeah,
It's a vibe.
Jarek has a Beatles hoodie on.
Abbey Road, we talked about that.
You already know.
It's not decaying.
Yeah, your hoodie's fine, Jared.
How many peoples?
We have 5,000 people listening.
5,000 people. What do you have to say to 5,000 people?
So,
Jarek.
Bad flag.
You can't say that.
okay. What's up, bro?
Yeah. Can we fix that in post?
I think about you.
So I feel like I'm rambling just about my life, and
That's kind of what the vibe of it is.
yeah. And if you want to cut any of this out because
Where's Ethan?
that's fine. But I feel like it's interesting to talk about right now. Are you okay with this? Me just saying what I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been coming in.
So,
It's been good.
Jarek and I and a couple of our other friends, Caden's done it too. We paint our nails, typically dark colors. I think so the story I tell. Okay, I think we're back. Listen, I know this is like really long. If you want to scrap this whole thing, I won't be offended. But I'm just
like H3 podcast goes to like 4 hours sometimes.
I have trouble watching that. But when you're actually sitting down speaking, it's hard to just produce highlights, you know? That's why they have the clips channel.
Yeah, we can have a clips channel
Okay,
eventually.
cool. Well, so the nails.
Do you guys want to walk around the hotel?
No.
Stuff.
I don't want to find your stuff.
They have ducks.
They don't have ducks at the hotel. We're in Mesquite, Nevada in the middle of the winter.
They have a fountain.
Where's the
They
fountain?
don't. I promise.
There's no fountain.
Ethan, you want to be on the podcast?
I had a dream where I just bought a house with my family.
What was your family like?
The same.
The same as what?
They normally are.
Oh, like you.
You bought a house like for your parents?
Yeah. No. We
You
built
didn't think
my
this.
house and they helped me.
Okay,
And my
Oh.
tattoo shop.
that's sick.
It's gonna be tight.
So,
Mommy.
I know what you mean.
the nails. The story I tell, I don't know where the idea came from, and I might sound like a poser, but the Suicide Boys, who, I don't know,
Aforementioned.
got really, I'm into them, and I think Ruby paints his nails sometimes. I don't know if Scream ever does.
I think he does.
Okay,
He just has a lot of hand tattoos.
yeah.
Which
And Jarek loves tattoos. Jarek wants to be a tattoo artist in the near future. But I thought it looked cool, and it seemed different and edgy, and a way to stand out. And I wasn't
Which
like,
is what we high schoolers crave.
yeah. And it sucks because that's how it originally started, and it's so basic and teenage. But now it's just like I do it because I'm comfortable painting my nails black, and I like the way it looks.
It's just nice.
Yeah.
And like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like Mr. Hancock thinks I'm dumb.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Like, you know, it would really mess me up. We have a friend like this. I won't say his name, but
You want this?
oh yes, dude.
I was about to eat it.
Oh, should we get more? Oatmeal cream
I'll
pies.
get some. I was just saying.
Oatmeal cream pie.
I've been like meaning to eat something, but I can't stop talking.
We have a friend. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, so we have a friend, and his parents, like, they don't really support the creative expression he has, similar to ours, but it's Suicide Boys aesthetic. And that would be so tough because it's something he really enjoys putting himself into. And my parents don't necessarily like support me painting my nails black, but they'll make fun of me like in a joking manner, but it's not like they frown upon it. But for this kid, that would be so difficult for something you actually enjoy to just be, your parents hate it. Probably the same thing with freaking homosexuals and their parents.
I'm a homosexual.
You're not a homosexual, Jarek.
I don't
No, you're
think so.
Freddie Mercury.
Jarek is now Freddie Mercury.
I'm Freddie Mercury, baby.
Yeah, I think that art is such a crazy thing. Because no one will ever really,
I framed my picture like Miller.
no one will ever just all get it the same or accept everyone's.
Yeah, and it's emotions. It goes right back to psychology. You know, you never know how someone else is thinking, and you can't really know someone else's emotions unless they express them. And that's what makes art really beautiful, is because when you see those as a natural, empathetic human, you can empathetic or sympathetic.
Empathy is.
Hey, Ethan.
Ethan's asleep.
Okay.
I forgot. But
you-
you could say either one, and I don't think anyone would even care.
Anyway, you just feel for that emotion that they've created through their art, whether that be music, fashion, you know, the whole stuffs. Painting. Jarek loves to paint and draw. Jarek's an incredible artist.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Don't cry.
Don't cry, bro, please. Cried last night.
Dude, kid, I wanna watch you make beats.
You should have.
Dude, I would
Cathartic.
love nothing more than to make music with you.
Yeah, I think we will.
I would love to help.
It
The
takes
problem
so
is-
much work.
My writing is like, and I don't mean to boast because I'm not like a good writer, but I feel like I could be good. It's just I want you to be honest with me and like hella critique me. Like that time that we wrote that song in Health, that was awful what I was writing. And I understand, you know, I had to follow a certain set of rules,
Yeah.
but still, like, you shouldn't have let that fly. You gotta be more blunt.
I wasn't great at it back then. Art, like, I always feel shitty about, like, it takes so much work for music.
Yeah.
But that beat we made
Dude, whose
compared to the
keys?
ones I have now,
Whose keys are these?
You're not
like,
even
that beat
touching
was
any keys.
literally, it was a bass line, and it was this stock piano, and the plugins are just, it's so messy.
You can move that stuff behind your head. That's like my wet swimsuit. Is it wet?
I think it's keeping me cool.
Okay.
Comfortable.
But yeah,
Little
I wouldn't know,
improvements,
but
little baby steps.
yeah, I really enjoy writing. I wrote down just like pure emotion the other day. One of those songs where Suicide Boys aesthetic. Gosh. Like, oh, I hate my life, everything sucks.
Did you just do it in your closet?
No, not in my closet, in my room, my closet. I probably won't even fit in my closet. You've been in my house. And I just wrote like 2 full pages full of notes, and it was more poetry than song. And I absolutely loved it, and I thought it was pretty decent.
That's what I like to think about is poetry. Like if this didn't have to rhyme, what would I be trying to say?
Yeah.
I struggle with songwriting, but it's baby steps.
Dude, freaking, that's what's so interesting about, my dad showed me this really great band, or it's at least one dude, Bright Eyes. He doesn't follow normal verse, chorus, verse. He just does whatever he feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Can we play Fresh Eyes?
Strong.
Fresh Eyes
Mm-hmm.
by like, who's that by?
I think it's by, I don't know. But I just remember that song just a second.
Song
And
structure.
it was awesome.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
You can really be so creative. And like we said, it's peaking. Like it's getting so crazy. Like if Tyler Creator is like singing "Who Dat Boy," and he's in like a flower T-shirt, and then my brain is like, that's ironic. And I think that that is good. And so I'll go buy a flower t-shirt. And it's looking at a deeper level. Like, okay, Suicide Boys are saying murder, kill, whatever. Well, why are you feeling this way? But then you can't explain everything. It's like explaining a joke. So it's just like, it's just pulling. It's pulling your meaning from it, and it's looking at like someone saying a cliche, and you kind of gotta put it together.
And the crazy thing is, though, you say, like, I can't fathom how it could get any more creative, how people could do more. I'm sure when people started making music that wasn't for the Catholic Church back in the days,
Buddhist throat singing,
that they thought the same thing, though. So, like, what are the possibilities?
I'm very excited to see what happens.
It's so hard to try and imagine new technology.
It's like thinking about the fourth dimension, dude.
Dude, yeah, it's so I try to imagine what will be a main source of entertainment in the future to replace an Xbox. And back in the day, they were like, you know, they couldn't imagine what would be better than a torch to light their house with. You know, they couldn't comprehend that there would be lights. It's so difficult to ever try and guess.
I think about smell a lot because we have film and movies and we have video games. And those are like our big sources of media. I'm writing a lit review about this right now. And books. And like, I feel like the most underappreciated sense we have is smelling. There's gotta be something coming out that you smell.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty smart.
And I think about like cologne.
I love smelling candles while I'm tripping.
But how?
It smells so good.
I don't know, because you think like, oh well, it's just smell. Well, what if was smelling music? Then we would be like, oh, it's just hearing. We all speak sign language like the gnomes.
I need a Kool-Aid. You want one?
I'm okay.
Basically, I just think that wow, art is so cool. Art's so cool because it can protect us from being cringy no matter what, because we get to do whatever we want with it.
And that's tough when people's own insecurities get in the way of art expression, because what they deem as cringy, you know, they try and make it seem relevant. A lot of hate stems from that.
You want to do it up here?
I don't know what you said. It's good though, in a way. Like, the only person that comes to mind is Ice JJ Fish. I'm pretty sure he's ironic. He's got to be ironic. But, like, if he wasn't, he would get bullied out of doing that, you know?
That sucks.
And, well, it's good, though, because, well, I was going to say it's good, though, because what he makes isn't good. But how am I supposed to determine a good expression of emotion versus a bad?
It's so crazy because, and I always tie stuff to music because that's what I learned about. But like in China, our music is not good to them because
they very American.
In their
listen to AK-47
sets of keys, which is the notes that make up a song are in scales of 8 notes, right?
Yeah.
An octave. And in China, it's only 5. And it sounds Asian. Their music is totally different. And so, like, That's just another example. Like maybe Ice JJ Fish is cringy and ironic, but like someone could listen to that and be like, I like this because maybe it's not ironic. And that's funny. Like even cringe stuff is funny to us.
Okay, yeah.
Unless you're genuinely trying to make people uncomfortable.
You got your seesaw?
It's a different
Seashell.
form of. It's a different form of appreciation. You can appreciate it for being what you deem to be good. You can appreciate it because you think it's funny. There's many other ways.
It's like an indirect reaction. Like if I'm trying to be funny and I make someone uncomfortable, me making them uncomfortable, that's you can't say that that's the only thing I was trying to do, because that wasn't my intention.
Yeah.
TJ got drunk as fuck.
What?
TJ got drunk as fuck.
TJ fell
No,
asleep.
he didn't.
I'm just kidding.
TJ fell asleep at 10:30.
His son was asleep.
Earlier, dude.
Really? It's 4:18 in the morning. We gotta be up. At what time do we want to get up?
I think
7?
Breakfast is at 8.
I think I would like to get up at 7. Because I can
I'm
get
not
my
gonna
stuff
sleep. Maybe an hour, I guess.
You're not gonna sleep?
I don't know. I'm not feeling it right now.
There's no way in hell I'm sleeping. I got tons of energy stuff if you want stuff. I got the shots and I still got that rock star. I have 2 shots.
I feel like I have energy now instead of before.
Okay, do you want to actually participate in conversation instead of spewing pure thought?
Yeah, I was trying to
I know you're trying, but you
connect
weren't
my
succeeding.
thoughts to reassure that I could relate, but I don't know if I'm doing a good job of that.
You're doing a good job in your brain, your sleep deprived brain, but not to us. It's okay though. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fun stuff. I'll usually we have like a sketch,
Okay.
but we only have like 3 people. But maybe some sort of game to end it.
Do you still want me to design your album cover?
Yeah.
I can do that right now. I have an idea.
Go for it.
You have paper?
You remember the kind
My
of things I
sketchbook's in my
told you?
backpack.
Go get it.
Do you remember the kind of things I told you?
Yeah, from what I remember, you want leaves in space at the top, right? And you want like a dude being dragged, like a stick figure.
Something being dragged. Doesn't even have to be dude.
Dude, I have a great
Dude,
idea.
you're just like, it's concept art that you were trying to get him to do.
Dude, do I look cute with
Sorry, I should add
I'm like a
that.
dog with my eyes.
Yeah, dude, it's so like this first thing I'm doing is just kind of to have fun with it.
I like that. I like that a lot more. I like watching that in artists like X. I spoke to the devil in Miami. I'm not trying to compare myself to the great X, but
Jaw.
when I sat down and I wrote that poetry that I mentioned earlier, I just felt like that was raw emotion that in early stages of music production, that's what you get out. And I don't know if I'm going anywhere. I don't know what I want to do with my life. Jarek and I talked for hours last night, like I mentioned. I really think I should do something with therapy and helping people. Like, I really like diving into people's minds and trying to convince them to figure their stuff to figure their stuff out. And Caden is one of the most intelligent people I've ever met.
You're so smart.
And it's hard for me to like, I want to like compare us, but I don't want to say that I'm as smart as you because I feel like you're smarter than me.
I don't know, man. It's really not an intelligence thing you can measure. It's just kind of we really understood everything very quickly.
We're the oldest kids, you know? The family dynamic,
So
it
much
really works out.
things that I've been taught about, and so much high school problems just never mattered to me.
Just because you learn to deal with them.
I just got it.
What?
Mitch, did you find?
Hey Mitch,
What?
you want to be in the Onion Patch Kids?
Yeah.
Come down.
Hey, do you still have this? I don't want you to lose it. Yours.
But just the only thing I was gonna say is after this, I think concept albums are so cool. The newest 21 Pilots album, Trench, is where they're like escaping this city, and that the compass has turned and east is up, and it's like ran by bishops that represent crazy things from the last album. What a cool thing to do. It's almost like a play, even at that point.
That goes back to, like, you know, why opera was popular in early music.
Yeah.
That's freaking crazy, bro. So,
Must be so cool.
you were proposing some type of game.
Well, what Jarek was kind of throwing was like, we could do a little word association.
Oh, dude, So, a future idea, you don't have to put this in, but, if we ever, like, start doing it as a group, I know this is kind of your project and I don't want to take it over,
No, man, it's everyone.
but, we get, like, one person or two people, and they sit down, and they either have, like, a random word generator or a list of topics, and then those people approach random topics with their different opinions, and it's one-on-one. So, like, say viewers like watching what Jarek has to say, and also like watching what Caden has to say. And then it'll be interesting to see those two discuss, and then Caden and Mitch, me and Caden, me and Jarek. And that's an easy way to rack up episodes that are super interesting, because you can understand the dynamic of the people that the listeners are interested in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. I think group sizes and stuff and all the variety is super fun. There's just always stuff to talk about.
That's crazy, isn't it?
That's why I've always been so excited to do podcasts. It's just like I already do that kind of.
Mhm.
So now I'm just recording it.
And people might like it because, I don't know, I think we're pretty smart.
Yeah. The last one was so funny.
This one isn't very funny.
No, this one's different, but that's okay.
But I like it. I like it because I'm just saying what I think.
Because I feel like someone maybe could be like, wow, I can't believe they said some of those things.
Like Carson Price. Carson Price loves podcasts for, you know, the thought that goes into some of them.
I love listening to people talk. That's why I listen to podcasts.
Yeah. And, like, wow, these guys aren't just trying to be funny. They just turned on the mic and did whatever they wanted.
And that's always been a really attractive thing in pop culture. You know, the edgy YouTube era. These guys just do whatever they want, and it's funny. I like that. Or like, I don't know, like in music, you know, these people are just doing whatever they want, and it's interesting to me, and I become attracted to that artist.
Mm-hmm. I really had something to say.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's just like my dad thinks we're funny. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
That people could think we're funny.
Yeah.
I always felt that I could do something cool.
I want to be famous so bad. I mean, like money, that comes second. I want people to know what I have to think.
Mm-hmm.
Not what I have to say. I mean, I guess that follows, but just what goes on in my brain.
Dude, whenever in church, when they're like, yeah, you guys are the greatest generation, I just feel it. I feel like the greatest.
Yeah. You want to talk about religion? You want to kind of stray away from that topic?
No,
I mean,
it's whatever. No.
I don't want to get in depth, but Kaden and I are LDS, and we won't go into, personal beliefs. But where was I going with this?
All right. Let's do closing remarks in a game. Jaden, what are we gonna do?
For a game?
No, just like conclude. Wrap everything we just said into one end.
So what we kind of did here is we really enjoy these in-depth conversations within our friend group, and everyone does. You see it in your life every day. People are like, oh, I love having deep talks in the car when it's raining. I feel like we do it. We do an excellent job with it. And
that's okay to think.
Yeah. And so I think that moving forward, this podcast, if it goes anywhere, the people that it will be interesting to will be fascinating.
Yeah, I think it'd be so cool. If and it really can pay anyone. I don't really care if it does, because this could just be in a damn museum. But cool. It's cool. It's kind of why I want to be a teacher, because I could just be famous in the summers.
You see, my problem with being a teacher is I would love to. We've talked about this, right? That I'm thinking about being a teacher because I don't know what I want to do, but I know I'm pretty good at talking to people and trying to teach them life lessons. I don't know. Right now the direction I think I'm going is professor of psychology, and psychology is crazy because as you learn about the human mind, it gives you closure over everything that you're ever worried about or the way that people act. And I think that would be
meta, as they say.
What do you mean super meta?
Brain thinking about the brain.
Oh. So it's crazy because not only are you teaching kids information about the brain, but you're teaching them how to explain what they're feeling and why, and it changes their lives. But the problem with that is I don't want to do it on a small scale. I want to scream it to the world. I feel like the people who don't know enough about psychology, and they're stupid. Like people will get
yeah.
They'll get so sad over the dumbest things that don't matter. And that's why our friend group is, I don't know.
That's why we think this podcast will be cool.
Yeah, I can't speak for everyone, but we generally have less demons to battle as far as, depression, anxiety, etc. Because we can just figure out how to say shut up. And a lot of people can do that, but in this day and age, a lot of people can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's really interesting, especially in high school.
Yeah, that's where souls come in. Like, you can teach about the brain, but there's no way everything we do can just be chemicals.
Trivia.
Trivia?
True, yeah. Like, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, trivia is actually a good idea.
Trivia. But what you said was crazy. That was profound. I love that.
I think if we don't get famous, we'll be famous in heaven. That'll be fine. Good, even.
That could be a straight up lie, and that would be the most comforting thing you've ever said to me.
What do you mean? A lie?
I want to be famous so bad. I want people to know what I have to say. I feel so boastful saying that. but I just feel like it's really important.
No, I feel like that's just drive. If
Like-
we were just saying this stuff and not really believing it, then that's just like being fake humble is a corny way to be arrogant. John Bellion. That's a John Bellion song.
Being fake humble is corny way. Okay, I follow that.
Yeah, so it's like
you. People need to hear what you have to say, kid.
I think the same thing about you. I think everyone could, but not everyone does.
Which is tough.
Like, could you think about
You can't have everything you want.
the most surface level human you know, and imagine them like becoming a monk and learning so much about themselves and the world, and then finally being able to vocalize what's really going on.
That would be crazy. I have several people in mind.
That'd be crazy.
Wait, so in your album cover, you want leaves in space?
I never said that, but
I thought you did. What do you want for the top?
all I was thinking was something being dragged. The rest is your creative freedom. I look so sick. You look so sick, Jarek. You're crazy.
Drawing faces is just. I'm in art 1030 and it's just baffling me. We made a clay mask and I got the nose on and I was like, this hell looks like a nose. This is a real human face structure. And then
It
proceeded-
hella knows, bro.
it proceeded to get so much worse. So bad. What? Why can't I just be good at creating what I see every single day?
Women are better at making stuff like that. Faces.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot. Most of my art class is girls. It makes
Yeah.
me feel awful.
I have a little bit of an advantage, I think.
Not fair. What's an advantage you think men have?
Not a period.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. No period.
No, to hate. Like,
Dude,
there's
imagine.
gotta be we gotta adapt past that.
Plus, when does it end?
Like 40.
My mom is like 40 something. I saw freaking Tampo on the grocery list the other day. Mom, I really hope you don't hear this. I really hope you don't.
She won't. But like, at the peak of human right now is, in order to not get pregnant, you have to completely flush it in a terribly painful way. I think one of the next big things is body enhancing technology.
Like stem cells and shit?
Yeah, it's
You know what
nuts.
stem cells are?
Yeah. Do you? Yeah, of course. Why do I even ask you?
Shut up, you dog.
Stem
Elon
cells
Musk
are
wants to
these-
put a chip in people's brain. Once we find out how to get the electrical currents or whatever currents in our brain to something digital, and we translate it, wow, crazy stuff could happen.
That's so hard to even fathom figuring out, though. The brain is so. You can. Okay, yeah, you get, chemicals to make you feel this way. But the process of actually feeling of information being translated through your head is crazy and so difficult to understand. I'm sure people said that, though, about why do we bleed when we get cut? So you never know what the next question will be.
Scab.
No, why though? They didn't know. What were they gonna do? Look at it? When I say I'm referencing like freaking like BC.
Why were we talking about men versus women?
Drawing faces. I'm not very good at art. Jarek has a real talent.
Yeah.
Drawing, painting.
I can't.
So much.
My
Yeah, of
mind,
course, yeah.
when I try to think about something and try to recreate it, it's so fuzzy.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's clear for Jarek.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a crazy thing to be able to do. Because
Yeah,
like if I
fathom,
It's not clear though. It's
explain it.
I don't really know why, but I guess it's just a lot of practice. But ever since I've been little, I've been able to draw people.
You can like you remember those little cartoons that we would draw when we were younger, like the rabbit with the backwards hat that you used to have him up in your room and the gangster guy.
Yeah.
Did you trace those?
No.
See, yeah, you can just recreate the image though, or I don't know if you. I'm pretty sure you drew some of those off of previous images. Did you?
Yeah, I use a lot of reference.
Yeah.
That.
You can just recreate it though. I can't.
yeah, that's why I just make stuff that's completely new. Because I'm not good at recreating.
But also, like being a tattoo artist. Like, to be a true tattoo artist, you got to be able to draw on people. And
That is insane.
usually some people, there's a lot of tattoo artists out there that just get images off the internet. But they're really good at realism, so they can just tattoo realism. But sometimes, to me, that's not art. Like, you have to be able to draw it from your mind. And it's just so much more special that way. And if people want your art on you, then they're going to find you and they're going to be your customer. And that's what I want. I want the right customers.
That's good stuff. Do you want to pause?
Yeah, we gotta reset.
Are you sure?
Back after nearly an hour of recording, did a quick reset. Now we're back. What a jaunty ride.
Yeah.
Speaking of jaunt,
What does John mean? Like it's like jolt.
no, dude, I honestly, some things I just start saying.
Is that not a real word? I don't think
It
I've heard
is.
that.
It's JAUNT if you want.
Okay,
It's some sort of movement.
yeah. I love that about the English language, that you can just like spit out words that are, in some way, shape, or form similar to the intended meaning, and people will get the message.
English is so difficult.
Dude, have you seen that YouTube video that's like what English is like for a non-English speaker?
Yeah.
That is so crazy.
What a cool experiment.
Yeah.
I just think that, like, the other day, my history teacher, he was like, I'm going to spell fish. And he put, like, cake, start, tongue, thorough. And he explained how that spelled fish. Long story short. And it works. It 100% works.
Really?
Yeah, so it was basically just like, he would write down a PH word and be like, well, yeah, this could say the F sound in fish. And he just did that. And I was like, wow. I don't know why America has such difficult, like, our language, our measuring system is difficult unnecessarily. Wow. I don't know.
So, you know how we don't like use the U in favorite in color? That stems from I learned about this in my college history class. The American Revolution. People wanted to just change from the way the British were, so they just started like spelling things different. This is so crazy to me.
Hey, we don't like your spelling.
And it wasn't like
like the thought behind it was like to develop a new language, but there wasn't enough effort into it, you know. It's just like not even a variation. It's barely.
Do you think
changed
that's
at all.
the same reason that there's fucking 3 feet in a yard?
I have no idea.
Because I hate that.
Yeah.
We should abolish the customary system.
People are so ignorant. People who I'm all for. I consider myself right leaning and I believe in the American dream. But people who value tradition over, I don't know, over certain advances just bother me. That's so ignorant of you to make something easier in the world. It's to sacrifice a tradition that doesn't really represent or mean anything. Yeah, America. I'm sure there's more information on the system that I don't know, but I'm sure it's not enough to be continued.
I think it's so hard to be Democrat because Obama's slogan was change, and people hate change in their daily lives. We drive the same way to work every single day. We could go a different way, but we don't.
Yeah.
And so to be a Democrat, you have to be somewhat conservative, because you can't change everything. You don't want to change everything, because if we changed everything forever, it would never be good.
That's true, yeah. You gotta hold on to the good things.
But I don't really know about that. I'm just kind of barely learning about politics.
Yeah, I don't. US Gov is like entry level stuff. I was trying to, in my knowledge of politics, I try to learn on a foundation that I don't have. And so it developed shaky ideals. I was super conservative 6 months ago.
We used to think that Ben Shapiro was like God.
Ben Shapiro is extremely intelligent.
Yeah, but he's not like...
Yeah. The people who in the YouTube comments say Ben Shapiro for president. Ben Shapiro should not be the president. You know? Just because he's conservative and he has good things to say about politics. Ben Shapiro shouldn't lead the country because of that. People are so ignorant for believing in that.
And that is why there's 3 feet in a yard. I just can visualize a meter easy. When like we play football and it's like, okay, do a yard, and it's like, oh, so it's 1 step. Well, I take a different step every single time, and I thought that steps were feet. So when did that change? Answer me.
I don't know, like 3rd grade. Probably. That's when I figured that out.
Dude, Jonah's awake. What's up, Jonah? Good night.
Hey, Jonah, can you hear us?
No, he's vibed. He's vibed.
Can you see his face? I can't.
No, he's probably got headphones in or something.
Yeah, we're talking pretty loud. Hey, Jonah. Can you hear us? What? Are we keeping you up? What? Are we keeping you up? No. Okay, just making sure. That was our friend Jonah, cross country. He's a sophomore. I think he's one of the only boy sophomores on the team.
He's a biochemical engineer.
He's a smart man. We have to train him to carry on our legacy. I'm a captain of the cross country team, and I always tell people what they say. You know, what sports do you play? I run cross country, and the immediate stigma is, you know, loser, nerd,
or hard.
Oh, yeah, it's a difficult sport, but I mean the culture surrounding it. Like think about the Weaver team that was at the pool today. Just a bunch of freaking pure degenerates trying to act funny, and it's so simple and immature and goofy. And to think that I do a lot of bragging. I'm freaking self-absorbed, but I feel like to say that I'm better than that, I'm not completely wrong. And I'm kind of rambling. Going back to what I was first saying, when I say, when I tell people I'm on the cross country team, and I say, well, I'm not like a goof though. People are like, oh no, I didn't think that. Well, yeah, you did. That's your immediate association with the captain of the cross country team. You would never think that I'd consider myself edgy. I'm pretty sure the people at my school would consider me edgy.
Yeah, I think that the most logical thing is just based off how much other people like the sport. Like basketball, everyone loves to watch basketball, so when you play basketball, you're hot.
Yeah.
That's probably how it started. And then you watch cross country, and it's impressive, but it's not entertaining.
Same thing with bowling. The only famous bowlers are
Troy Lund.
Stereotypical goofs. I love Troy. But like,
shout out Troy.
You ever watch professional bowling, man?
Yeah, a couple times.
Sorry, those guys aren't very hot.
No.
Kid, so this is my concept.
Dude, that's like perfect. I was thinking geometric stuff too. I didn't even tell you that.
Yeah, I thought the shapes and it kind of symbolize blocks.
Yeah, I think you knocked it out of the park. You really read my mind.
That is crazy, man.
That's awesome.
Jarek is an artist.
Hey, man, I think I'm getting an iPad Pro for Christmas where I can do digital work. And so
that sounds so sick. Copy and paste.
A lot.
Just copy and paste it, dude.
Those things are crazy, dude. Like
what?
The iPad Pro, when we went there to the Apple Store on Black Friday.
They were fun to play with, yeah.
It's just so cool the way that we've transformed drawing with a graphite pencil or ink pen into electronics.
Like, you can seriously learn so much more and so much more faster.
Yeah.
In drawing.
Because you have everything at your disposal.
Mm-hmm. And it's not much different than pen and paper, you know?
Not much at all.
Dig-a-bogug. We have this thing in our friend group. I consider it to be unique, but we have a fascination with blunt, basic sayings that are hilarious, like randomly speaking Chinese or gibberish for that matter, saying being on going. That is so incredibly funny to us.
Yeah, and that's another thing is like, to some people, like to Katie Erklin's, that's not funny at all.
Yeah.
But the way that we receive it is funny, and that's okay.
It's crazy.
I love that about art. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, humor is really whack. I was Snapchatting this girl tonight, and she started sending me memes, and I thought it was really interesting because I like it when people are comfortable with their sense of humor. And I had to stop and think, which aspects of my sense of humor would she like? What can I show off to her?
Yeah, you gotta
have to be cautious with it.
Connect a little bit. You got alter, because most of the time your sense of humor is very unique. It's very inside joke-y for everyone.
Like our friend group, or you mean everyone?
Everyone.
I understand.
It's just another way to get a female.
Let's talk about social media.
So
Okay, Jared. What do you want to focus on with social media?
you start that one off.
I want to know if it is more of a negative impact than a positive.
So Dale about talks about this, and this would be interesting.
Here, so I'm gonna go poop.
Yeah, I still have not eaten my oatmeal cream pie because I'm so busy speaking. Gosh,
This is really fun. I like this.
Legitimately pissing me off that you have it.
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm just kidding.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go pee too, so we can pause it.
No, I'm gonna just keep talking. I'll flag it. This is the part in the podcast where everyone went to the bathroom, but me. Well, you don't want to talk about it?
I just been talking about it for so long, I think. I'm going crazy.
What did you say about it, Jarek?
I think that social media is so good for business, but I think too many people have it.
It's so good for business that it's toxic. You just
I
can't.
think it's so toxic for personal life.
Yeah.
Like, because there's so many pages on Instagram where it's just like pure happiness and joy. And someone who doesn't have that might think that they're not happy because they want that. But, and so some people are just kind of naive about that. I mean, I don't really know what I meant by naive.
But I completely understand what you're saying.
Naive is a tough word. I never use it right.
Yeah. I feel like one of the things I've been blessed with is to be able to avoid that. The thought that of the what's the word I'm looking for? It's a synonym for lie,
Thanks
but
for trying.
the lie of social media life. I've been blessed to ignore it and to not dwell on, people being happier than what I'm missing in my life. And I don't think a lot of people are blessed with that.
Yeah, I think that
Stay away from it now.
I definitely use it less than I did, but it's all, does it influence you for good? Does it influence you for bad? And you really gotta choose. I mean,
It really kind of depends on where you're at or how old you are.
if you play Grand Theft Auto and that causes you to drive your car and ram into 100 people, it can't be just the media's fault. You gotta, for me at least, I don't know why this would be different, but you gotta pick. You gotta pick what influences you.
Yeah, and so we can talk about video games and violence another day, but something that I had a hard time believing is there are actual genuine studies showing that video games lead to violence in one way or another. Violent video game. When you see violence, you're going to replicate violence. There's this thing they did with toddlers, and they had this big, those dolls with the sand in the bottom, and it's airy, and you can punch it and it'll come back up.
Mm-hmm.
There's this thing they did with kids, and an adult walked in the room, and they did a bunch of different tests. Some adults would ignore the doll. Some adults would act politely to the doll. Some would play with it. Some would go crazy on it. The kids always mirrored the behavior. Humans always mirror of the adult on the doll. Yeah, sorry. They would do the same thing to the doll majority of the time when the adult left the room. Humans always mirror behavior.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I think that wraps it up for today.
Yeah, I would just not kill people.
Yeah, I mean you can't blame video games for doing that to you. Like you said, you get to choose what influences you.
Yeah, I think we talked a lot about art and about whatever we wanted, because that's kind of what we do.
The mind.
We think it's cool stuff and fun to listen to, and we think it's gonna be forever now because it's just things that people would talk about. I think.
I might get my stuff together so I can just wake up and have everything ready.
Thanks for watching episode 2. Bye bye.